Okay.
All right. Next, the last team here that we have from the Pac-12
Yeah.
is Stanford.
Yeah.
3-9 a year ago, 2-7 in the conference. David
Uh-huh.
Shaw entering his 12th season.
Yes.
Last year, they were terrible on both offense and defense. The hilarious thing, so they won 3 games a year ago. 2 of those 3 were USC and Oregon.
Yeah.
Is that not amazing?
Okay, so they lost to Kansas State week 1 last year. No shame in that. Then you come
Sure.
out, they actually drub USC by 2 scores. Like they beat them down by 14 points. They beat Vanderbilt, and then they beat Oregon. Like they beat Oregon by a touchdown, and then they just followed up with like loss after loss. Like they lost to Arizona State, they lost to Washington, they lost to Cal. They got blown out by Cal by 30 points. Like, how is that even the same team? Like it's yeah, agree. Just baffling.
Yeah. So SP Plus rejects him to be number 77 in the country this year. That's a little rough. There are some bright spots though. Tanner
Okay.
McKee, their quarterback, is pretty
Yep.
good.
He is very good.
They have good tight end, of course. They're Stanford. Benjamin Urasek. He's kind of a star, I would say. The receivers are decent, and one thing I would say is they did have some injuries in their receiver room a year ago, so I do expect that to be better. I think they're going to have a, no pun intended, passable passing game. Their offensive line returns all 5 starters, but it's one of those offensive lines that was pretty terrible last year.
Yeah.
They allowed all of the sacks. And it's not that they don't have any good players, but the problem with offensive line is you need 5 good players. And Walter Rouse, I think, is a pretty good left tackle. They might have one other guy that they like, but the offensive line, yeah, like I guess it can't get worse than last year because they do have all 5 returning. Like their top two running backs both transferred out, but they do have EJ Smith, Emmitt Smith's son, who will probably be their running back starter, I would guess.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is interesting because it seemed like for most of the years under David Shaw, when they were good and winning games, their defense was always solid. It was always probably the strength of their team. Although they had good quarterback play and offensive line play and stuff.
Right.
But their defense was always good.
Yeah.
The problem is the last couple of years, their defense has really fallen off. This year they're switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3, which might fit the players they do have a little better, but their defensive line depth is terrible. The numbers there are horrible. They have walk-ons that are going to be in the rotation. They have a few decent edge guys. David Bailey, I want to say, is like kind of a big name there. A few secondary players maybe that are, solid, but mostly their defense is a bunch of meh. Yeah, man, I don't know. It feels like the arrow's pointing down, but there are some players there, and it does seem like okay, I think they just signed like the number 18 class in the country. Like they still somehow recruit not horribly. The line here is 4.5.
Yeah. Okay. You got to be careful what you say, but it seems like David Shaw could be like does he care? Does he even care? And it seems in the games that he does care. Like Stanford in the years, like Stanford in their heyday, like in the like right after Harbaugh and like the first years of David Shaw, they never out athleted anybody. Like they lined up in a phone booth, they physically beat you down for 4 quarters, and they had good defense. They did, and they had really good quarterback play. Like Andrew Luck comes to mind. They still had good Davis Mills is the starter for the Texans now, came from there. Tanner McKee is a good quarterback. He's a junior this year, and like they still have good quarterback play. Like I don't understand. I don't understand how the same team that can beat USC and Oregon and then turn around and get drubbed by 30 by Cal. I don't understand that. And there's no something's off there. I don't believe it's a talent issue, because I don't think Stanford ever they never played to just having a whole bunch of 5 stars. They were never Georgia. Like they had a whole different system that they bought into. And yeah, I guess I don't know. Like I don't know why he's still there. Like how is he still there if he has losses like that to Cal? because like if this was anywhere in the South, he'd be long gone. Like he would have long since been gone. Auburn would have fired him so many years ago. It's just unbelievable. So yeah, like I don't know. Like, so the number is 4.5, right? Like they do get to play Colgate, and like the non-con isn't great. They play BYU and Notre Dame in the non-conference.
Yes.
Like, those are tough games, man. Those are like darn tough games.
Yes.
Jeepers. You still get Utah in the crossover from the South. That hurts. Like that's not easy. Play USC as well. Like, I don't see how they get to 5. The number's 4.5, right? That's what I had anyway.
Yeah.
I don't see them getting to 5. But on the other hand, like they could absolutely come out and go 7-5. You know what I mean? Like because that's how they could do it. Like they could quarterback play their way to 7-5 schedules or 7-5 record. So
yeah,
I'm going under because something feels wrong there, I guess that's my final answer.
That schedule is ridiculous.
It's brutal.
They have one guaranteed win, Colgate. And they don't get to play. Okay, let's look at this schedule a little bit.
Yeah. They do get Cal. They get to play Cal.
They get Cal, but even that's on the road.
Yeah.
In a rivalry game.
At Cal is not intimidating. Come on.
They don't get to play like Colorado or Arizona.
Right.
They get Arizona State, but it's still in October, so maybe they're not completely but they might beat Arizona State, but we're looking to get 5 wins, and you can maybe find 3. And then you never know. Like, obviously, last year they beat USC and Colorado and Oregon. It's Stanford. Like, I suppose that would happen, but with that hard of a schedule and as crappy as they were on both sides of the line last year, I guess my prediction is that they probably go 3-9 again.
Okay, fair enough.
And I don't even know what the 3 wins are. I'm just going to do them the service of giving them a 3rd win somewhere.
Yeah, only 2 for sure. They're going to beat Arizona State and Colgate. Maybe they'll get Cal.
Yeah.